and welcome to this edition of the Ferrell Phelps Show. We're on a very rare occasion here today at Summerwood Elementary School. We've been hearing so much about this choir, the Summerwood Shining Stars Choir, and they are just doing an amazing job around the city. And I have the principal of Summerwood Elementary with me, Dr. Peters. Welcome to the show. You know, when I began to hear things about this choir, I was really in awe of the things that they are doing and things like that. I wanted to ask you, as the leader of the school and the principal, how do you feel about what's being achieved with the choir today?
Well, we have a lot of pride in this choir in two ways. One, the musicality, obviously.
Yes.
Their leader, Mr. O'Neal, brings out the music in them. And as I say to them, he teaches them the skills of music, but he teaches them the soul of music. And if you ever see them perform, you see that soul. They put their feelings into it. So that's the one thing. And the other thing is I say to the choir, and I remember having this conversation with them back when they started, probably in October, I believe, is when they began, is that they are role models of our school. Their actions and behavior, not only on stage, but because knowing at that point they're going to be out in the community. I know what Mr. O'Neal wants to do is get them out performing as much as possible. Right. So they are selling our school any place they're at.
Absolutely.
And they're also representing themselves, they're representing their school, but they're also representing their family. So there's that's a lot of weight to carry, but they do it very, very well. You know,
and I have to say the same thing. When I first met them just moments ago, it was really exciting for me because they seemed very mannerable and they listened. And so we even got them to sing a song for us in the whole 9 yards. It was really wonderful, nice experience. And you're right, they do represent Summerwood Elementary School, you know, in the way that they carry themselves. And I certainly want them to give themselves a big round of applause for how well. You know, when I began to read all the information on the choir, you guys have done so many things. How do you actually get into the doors to do the things that you're doing?
Well, I think, again, that's a tribute to Mr. O'Neal. I remember a year ago he was making the connections to try to get the choir into places like with the Rockets and with the Astros.
America with the singing of our national anthem. Please welcome Summerwood Elementary Shining Stars Choir.
It's making those connections and doing that work, and I think it's also reputation carrying. If all they did was sing here at the school, for mostly would be parents, grandparents, and family,
right,
then no one else would really know. And you might think at, say, the Astros game, for example, there were a lot of people just passing by, but they may recall, wow, that was a pretty good choir. Where were they from? Who were they?
Exactly.
So, that kind of talk begins. And then just the people who are organizing the events, they have networks. So they're talking with each other too. So, if Mr. O'Neal puts across a request to play at a certain place, somebody may look at that, oh yeah, I've heard of that choir. They're pretty good. Yeah, we want to have them come over here.
Right. Well, obviously their reputation is doing a lot of things for them and opening a lot of doors for them. And that's why we're here, because of the reputation of this choir and what we've heard about them doing and singing and actively participating in things in the community. And community is very important. When we were going down the list of things that you guys have done, I was like, there's no way I can remember everything that's on this list because it's such a long list.
I might have a hard time too.
Yeah, okay, and you're the principal, right? Of what you guys have accomplished here just out in the community. Not just with the Astros game or the Rockets game, but things you guys have done in the community. Now, this choir consists of children that are in, 3rd through 5th grade, is that right?
It's predominantly 4th and 5th graders.
4th and 5th graders, okay. Well, I tell you what, you guys are doing an amazing job.
Well, they're doing an amazing job.
They're doing amazing. But you know what? You know the team by the leader. So obviously the leaders are doing a great job, yourself and Mr. O'Neal. as well. You know what? I've enjoyed talking to you and everything. And we're going to be back in just a moment. You guys stick around. We'll be back with more.
Sky Trues Custom Eyewear has taken the world by storm. In only 8 months, Sky Trues has gained the eyes of many, including celebs like Big Sean, Little Flip, Destiny's Child, Soulja Boy, just to name a few. Through custom design, Sky Trues can put your imagination on your frames. I bring to you the next big thing in Houston, Sky Trues, created by Golden Boy, the musician, the artist, the entrepreneur, and grassroots marketing genius. Be inspired. Sky Trues, custom designed frames. Sky Trues.
All right, welcome back to this edition of the Ferrell Phelps Show. We're on location today at Summerwood Elementary School with these amazing kids in the choir. Welcome to the show, man.
Oh, thanks. Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
I have with me the leader of this amazing choir, Phillip O'Neal. Man, you're doing an awesome job. I just want to say that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I've seen so many of your YouTube videos of this choir.
Right.
How do you keep them composed and together? Because you have, is it the largest choir in the Humble ISD district?
Yes, it is. And I just, said from the beginning that, it's a privilege to be in this choir. And in order to be in this choir, you have to have a certain level of professionalism.
Right.
And it starts at this age because professional kids end up being professional adults.
Absolutely.
Right. So, I just demand it. And they know that if I want to do this, I have to do that. So, and I just, from day one, when I started this choir 2 years ago, from even then,
Right.
and as you see, as it catches on, it pulls in those students that really want to do it. And, it's just grown and grown and grown.
Wow. And you know what? When you're doing things the right way and the proper way, they tend to grow.
Right.
And obviously you watered the seed to make this thing happen.
Exactly.
I had a chance to witness you in the classroom just a little while ago, and I noticed how you took control of your class. And I noticed that, which is great. The leader has to take control. And I noticed how well the kids paid attention to what he was teaching them. And I was like, wow, I like the technique here,
Right,
and it takes that type of teaching in order to achieve what's being achieved with the choir today.
Right, definitely. A lot of practice, a lot of hard work, a lot of practice. Right, everybody? Yeah! But I tell them, in order to be good at anything, you have to put in the work. You have to practice. I mean, and that's in whatever field or whatever activity you choose, whether it's football, basketball, track, music, whatever. You have to put in the hours, you have to put in the work. But they always see every single year at the end, see the result of hard work. This is what ends up happening, things like this opportunity right here.
Right. And I give a lot of credit to the students and of course to yourself, but I know the parents have to play an important part in this as well.
Yes, I have been in other districts where the parent involvement wasn't what it is at Summerwood, and the funny thing is I haven't really changed much as an educator.
Okay.
I'm the same educator that I was in my old districts, but the difference here is the kids and the parent involvement. That makes a world of a difference.
Yeah. When we talk about yourself, we talk about Dr. Peters, and we talk about the choir. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Definitely.
It
And
takes
I
that.
have to give a shout out to my team, my 4 sponsors. I could not do this without them. Ms. Janice Ball, Ms. Kathy Miller, who she's over there, Ms. Crystal Schneider, and Ms. Catherine Olano. Those 4 ladies really helped me to corral and to maintain a group of this size. Without them, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate them.
Yeah.
I have to give props to Mr. Peters because I've worked for some administrators that that basically wouldn't allow me to do what I'm able to do here. He allows me to do whatever comes to my head. Like for example, today with this talk show, he was like, yeah, I'm all for it. Whereas I know that in the past, I've run against opposition.
Okay.
For trying to think outside the box. But he allows me to do whatever I see fit with this group, and I'm really appreciative to him for that also.
Oh, I think that's awesome. It takes a village,
Right, definitely.
To raise a child. You certainly described the village with everybody that's involved in the choir. Now, you guys just recently performed for the Houston Rockets.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it all started because a year ago, last year, my choir was actually 143 students.
143
and
students.
Those people
Wow.
that were in choir last year, you remember how big we were. And this year I decided, to basically, we didn't need 143 to get our point across, not to mention it was really hard to transport everyone.
Right.
So this year I dropped it down to 105.
Okay.
But last year they recorded a song called the Armed Forces Medley, which basically is a medley of all of the military hymns.
Okay.
And then we go into the Star Spangled Banner, and then after that we end the song. Well, I sent that to the Houston Rockets. Loved it. So that was how we got the Rockets game. It was because of what last year's choir did. But then this year's choir went to the Rockets game and completely blew it away.
Summerwood Elementary Shining Stars Choir.
And if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube and all that's on there. But they just did outstanding. I've heard nothing but rave reviews about it.
I've been fortunate enough to see that video.
Right.
Needless to say, and I watched it several times in awe of how well these children are doing with your leadership.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's fantastic. Now, not only have you done work with the Rockets and the Astros, but I've heard something about a CD.
Oh, yes. When I first got to Summerwood, this is back in 2013.
Okay.
The school, even though it was turning 10 years old, they didn't have a school song.
Okay.
Yeah, so that means every teacher before me, every music teacher before me, they never wrote a school song for the school. So when I came here, I was really inspired by the greenery and the lush forest. That's what I call it. But I love the trees. And when I came to Humble, that was the first thing that really inspired me. So I was listening to some classical music, and I was listening to Dvorak's symphony, the New World Symphony. And a technique that a lot of composers do, they'll take the melody from a famous classical piece and create words to it and, just redo the music, but the melody is the same. So I took the melody from the New World Symphony, and myself and the 5th grade class of 2014, which they are 7th graders now going to the 8th grade, we collaboratively wrote the words, and then I just arranged the music on piano, and then after that we recorded it at the end of the year. So that recording that's on CD Baby right now is the first year choir that's actually recording it. And we have 4 young ladies that are still in the choir. They were 3rd graders then, and now they're 5th graders now.
Oh, so we call them veterans.
Right, the veterans, exactly.
Really? So are we going to get to talk to them today?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really?
Definitely.
Okay, fantastic.
Right.
I want to ask you, doing what you do, what are some of your influences musically?
Musically, oh my God. Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, all of the old soul artists, that was what I was raised hearing.
Okay.
I come out of the church, so gospel is a big part of who I am.
Right.
Commission, Take 6, I love harmony. I love harmony. Boys to Men, one of my favorite all-time R&B groups. But the thing that influenced me with this choir was combining all of that with the work of this choir director in New York. His name is Greg Breinberg, and he is over the PS22 chorus. And when I saw what he was doing with the choir, with the kids, it's 5th grade choir.
Okay.
But when I saw what he was doing with the choir, I was like, you know what? He gets it. He's making the kids feel the music.
Okay.
He's making them connect with the music. And when they sing, you feel them.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I can do that. And I thought of this stuff when I was teaching in Dallas. but I wasn't able to put it into action until I came to Summerwood.
Right.
And when I got to Summerwood, I hit the ground. That was my vision, and it is really refreshing to see the vision come to pass, because this is exactly what I envisioned.
Yeah. An awesome vision. What an awesome vision, you know, and oftentimes you hear the word spoken, especially biblically, a man without a vision will perish.
Right, exactly.
You know, and you obviously had a great vision, because we're seeing that vision manifest here
Right,
today
exactly.
at Summerwood Elementary School with this amazing choir. You know, they sang impromptu
Right.
for me.
And I didn't
earlier.
have to direct them or nothing.
I know, but we had a wonderful person here that gave that, gave guidance. And when I tell you they did an awesome job, just impromptu, I was really amazed and impressed by and you, the leader wasn't even here.
Right.
So, but it said a lot about the students, and we're going to get a chance to talk to some of the students in just a moment when we come back with more of the Ferrell Phelps Show. You guys stick around. We'll be back in just a moment.
Listen to the rain, composing music on my window pane. Listen to the rain, changing the rhythms of my heart. Listen to the rain, why does it leave and then come back again? Listen to the rain, listen to the sound, listen to the sound, see the puddles forming on the ground. Listen to the sound, listen to the sound, listen to the sound, changing the beatings of my heart, beatings of my heart. Listen to the sound, as intermittent raindrops hit and pound.
All right, welcome back to the Ferrell Phelps Show. We're located at the Summerwood Elementary School today. Man, you know what? I'm having such a wonderful time with this choir. This is one amazing choir led by Mr. Phillip O'Neal. He's doing an amazing job. This choir is doing amazing things around the city and the community. And we have some veterans right here on the set with us who've been in the choir for several years. I want to start with you. Your name is?
Haley Alexander.
Haley Alexander.
Karis Abshire.
Karis Abshire.
Callista Times.
Callista Times.
Elena Kritzberg.
Elena Kritzberg.
Jada Akron.
Jada Akron. And you guys know Mr. Phil. Mr. O'Neal. You know, we couldn't do this interview without talking to some of the students. And you guys have been in the choir for a long time, from what I understand. I want to ask you, what is one of your musical influences?
I like singing a lot in my spare time. I've always liked singing a lot. I listen to a lot of music.
Okay. And now, let's say, for instance, Taylor Swift. Are you a fan of Taylor Swift?
Sort of, I guess.
Sort of, you guess, huh? Okay. All right, I'm going to ask you, what are some of your musical influences?
My mom sings a lot.
Your
and
mom
at
sings?
Church, like at her old church, she was in the praise team, and so she sang all the time, and that kind of made me want to sing.
Yeah.
So me and my sisters, like pretty much my whole family, likes something to do with music.
Okay.
So yeah, that had a big influence on me liking to sing.
Enjoying music. All right. All right, and I'm going to ask you.
Music really brings out my personality, and I love singing. It's just one of my great passions.
Really? Now, that was well said. She said it's one of her great passions. And as you all know, it takes passion to be successful. So that's, man, you answered that question very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't try to take my job now. Yeah, she got me a little nervous here, the way she answered that question with such professionalism. So some of your musical influences would be what?
I love just to show movement, but using it in a musical way.
But using it in a musical way. You speak extremely well. If you were in class right now, you'd get an A+. Yeah, absolutely. All right, beautiful girl. You're next.
Well, I've always had a passion for music. It's always been something that I've really liked to do because I sing in the shower. Yeah, and music has just always been a part of my life. I've always loved it, and it's just really fun to do.
Yeah. So tell me some of your influences, possibly.
Well, my sister and my grandma, they don't sing, but they do
Listen to
They
music?
do
or-
instruments.
Instruments. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, my sister does the violin, and my grandma used to do the flute. And we just like listening to music
Yeah.
outside. And
So your family has influenced you?
yes.
Yes. That would be safe to say, huh?
Yes.
All right, all right. And look at you now in the Summerwood Choir. A choir that's doing big things around the city of Houston.
3 years.
3 years. That's awesome. All right, pretty girl. We have all these beautiful girls here today. Yeah? You guys are doing such a good job, too. I just want to say that. You guys are doing a great job. All right.
Well, me and my brother, we always used to sing along, and we were just born with music. Sometimes I even think I'm singing when I'm sleeping. I just love music, and I feel that this choir helps me a lot. It makes me mature my voice, and also it helps me with my passion. I've always wanted to sing, and I've always just wanted, like, music is number one for me.
Really? All right. I like that. She said music is... But that means that you really love music. Now, I want to ask you, who are some of your musical influences?
Well, I love Alicia Keys. She's my idol.
Alicia Keys? Really?
Like, when I was growing up, I listened to her, like, every day. I learned, like, all of her songs because I loved her so much. And she was, like, she had woman power, and even when people didn't like her songs, we still didn't listen, and she kept listening.
And that's what you're supposed to do. And you know, I want to say that to you guys, whatever genre of music you select or choose to do in your life, even if people don't quite understand your music, you have to know your music and love your music enough to continue to do it. And you'll create an audience for yourselves, you know, based on how different you are. We don't always have to be like everybody else. It's important that we learn to be ourselves. And if that means being a little different, then that's perfectly okay. Embrace your difference. Embrace who you are. You don't have to be like the next person. You can set your own pace that others will follow. Don't you think that's important?
Yes.
Everybody agree? Give yourselves a round of applause. I think that's very important. And we have to teach the children to be themselves. So often we try to follow everybody else or we become followers in life. We don't want to become followers. We want to become leaders. You know, and sometimes to lead you have to be a little different. You can't be afraid to be different.
And unique.
And unique. Accept your uniqueness. No matter what anybody says about you, accept your uniqueness, because each one of you are unique and special. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be sitting here right now, that's for sure. You know? And I just want to tell you guys a story. And I want to ask you first, Mr. O'Neal, how do you influence the choir when you're working with them? Because I know you see a number of personalities.
Well, by example. You know, I don't require them to do anything that I haven't done and that I don't continue to do when I perform, because I don't just teach music, I also perform as well.
Yes, you do. And you perform very well.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. But, you know, just by example. And I, you know, in the words of my uncle, you know, I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did.
Right.
You know, it's some things that I share with them, with all of them, that I wish somebody would have told me. And some of the things people told me, but I didn't listen. You know, and that's why I harp on, hey, I'm telling you, this is what you want to do to give them a leg up. You know, I mean, I didn't start playing piano till I was 19 years old, but I started teaching my son at 4.
Wow.
And he's been playing since he was 4. And I'm teaching him things that I didn't learn until I was an adult. Now, thank God that it was already in me. That's how I got as good as I am on piano. But
Right.
had I started at that age, oh my God, it would have been amazing. So I try to just share knowledge with all of my students so that they can grow up and do some of the things that I wasn't even able to do.
Right.
You know, so.
And it's obvious that they're all sponges, and they've soaked some of
Oh,
that up.
definitely.
And they're definitely utilizing that each time that they get the opportunity to perform.
Definitely.
You know, I want to tell you guys, there's someone that I knew at a very early age, your age as a matter of fact, actually younger, at the age of 8, I knew this particular person. She's someone that the world knows now. Her name is Beyonce Knowles. You guys familiar with Beyonce? Yeah, I've known Beyonce since she was a little girl. I'm a photographer also, and I used to take all of her pictures and all of this good stuff. And you know, back then we didn't know that she would become the person that she's become today. She was in a group called Destiny's Child. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Destiny's Child. She was in that group, and you know, I met her at the same age I'm meeting you guys. So you never know where life will lead you. You never know who you will become. But what I say to you is believe in yourself. No matter what anybody say to you, believe in yourself. The sky is the limit. You guys can do anything you want to do. Can I get an amen on that? You know, Mr. O'Neal, we've been to several schools. I speak at several schools and talk to many students to influence them to make a difference in their lives.
Right.
And oftentimes we encounter a group of kids that are not as well behaved.
Right.
And don't listen to leadership and things of that nature.
Right.
I cannot say that about this amazing choir today.
Definitely.
Yes, yeah. You guys make children your age look awesome. You have behaved properly, you have listened, you've quieted down when you got the instructions to do it. You sang beautifully. You are amazing. Each and every one of you are amazing. I want you guys to always remember that. Look in the mirror and say, I am amazing. As a matter of fact, repeat to me now, I am amazing.
Amazing.
There you go. I've had so much fun sitting here talking to the Summerwood Choir, the Summerwood Shining Stars Choir. Mr. O'Neal, thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you.
I have certainly enjoyed myself, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this amazing choir as well. You know what? Can you guys just lead us out with a song, the school song, I think it was? Is that possible?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Just give us a little bit of that as we end the show. Now, I want to tell you guys, for more information on the Ferrell Phelps Show, you can just hit us up at Let's Talk About It 12TV at gmail.com. That's Let's Talk About It 12TV at gmail.com. You can also go to my website, ferrellphelps.com, and see a lot of things right there. Our shows are also on YouTube. Simply go to YouTube, type in the name Ferrell Phelps. You'll see a listing of our shows right there for your viewing pleasure. All right, we're ending the show with the amazing Summerwood Shining Stars Choir.
Summerwood, shining stars, bright for all to see, molding us to become all that we can be.